Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. This is one of those stories where I had initially seen what was stated by the developers and I immediately came out with boxing gloves on and ready for a rumble. It was the sort of thing that happens when a developer makes a vague, unclarified statement that is then interpreted under the most negative possible light and then stated as such, and that was what very nearly happened to me. Thankfully, the Play Overwatch Twitter account was able to clarify the statement, and it's a very good thing they did so because the impression that I had gotten was definitely not one that I was very happy with at all. But what I'm talking about is in regards to recent articles and statements surrounding the developer update released a few days ago in which the game's director Jeff Kaplan discussed their actions and steps taken to reduce toxic behavior in the online game. In that video, Kaplan stated, "As you all know, we recently added the ability for our console players to report people, which has been amazing and has shown us really great results. We also added warnings for people who were about to get suspended, silenced, or banned that their behavior was unacceptable and that if they kept getting reported by other players or noticed by us here at Blizzard that they would get in trouble, and that's helped a lot. On the other hand, player reporting the amounts of times that you guys actually report bad behavior is now up 20%. We're restoring faith in the system. It's starting to work much better, and it's actually having a big impact on the community. We know those numbers are not as great as they could be. We know that the problem is not solved and things aren't perfect, but it's getting a lot better, and a lot of the initiative that we're doing here at Blizzard are starting to make a difference." And this was followed by the statement that had caused my initial trepidation and statements on social media, where Kaplan said, "We now proactively seek out social media sites like YouTube, for example, and look for incidents of very toxic behavior and track down the accounts that are participating in those and action them, oftentimes before anybody's even reported them or they've shown up in any other place." That's just one example of us being proactive that I think is going to make a big difference over time. And I feel what should have been said in this particular instance is that they're seeking out video evidence on social media sites like YouTube and Twitch. The much more vague statement about social media in general led myself and some others to garner the incorrect impression that Blizzard was stepping well outside of their boundaries and possibly seeking to ban people for any form of toxic behavior. However, as I said before, the Play Overwatch Twitter managers thankfully corrected this error in interpretation by stating the following. "I think you misunderstood Jeff's comments. We don't target social media comments themselves. We target players who are being toxic in game clips, which are posted on social media sites." Which, to be honest, wipes away the entirety of my reservations right there. Now, hear me out on this. I am not a fan of Overwatch because of its loot box system. I'm only a passing fan of playing the game at all, meaning I usually ignore it unless my friends are playing. I have a great deal of fun with a game couched within that social aspect and teamwork born of people you know and have played with before. It's the competitive player in me that likes knowing the people, personalities, and strengths and weaknesses of the people I'm playing with. As such, the game holds all but no interest for me in a solo aspect, and I abhor loot boxes as a matter of principle, and I have since the first time I ever laid eyes on a loot box. That said, I do understand the teamwork aspect of a game like Overwatch and how much cooperative communication is key to obtaining a victory. Teams that communicate have a huge edge over others that don't. That said, when you have someone on your team who is being quote-unquote toxic by spewing racial slurs, calling you names, and insulting everyone, then no one is having a good time. It ruins the whole match and probably the next one as well, as the interactions just tend to leave a bitter taste in one's mouth. And given the apparent problem within Overwatch that has caused a great many people to simply turn off in-game comms and leave them off, the Overwatch team has been stating for the past 6 months that they were ramping things up in this regard. In July of last year, they stated the following: "We believe that our in-game reporting and player penalty systems is one of our most important features, and it's something we want to invest in significantly over the next year. To this end, effective immediately, we will be issuing increased penalties to players in response to verified reports of bad behavior. In Overwatch, that means anything from abusive chat, harassment, in-game spam, match inactivity, being intentionally AFK, and griefing. If you see someone engaging in any of these types of behaviors, report them. Players in violation will be silenced, suspended, or even banned from the game as a result. We know that making Overwatch a truly welcoming environment is an ongoing process, and this is only the first step. Over the next several months, we have plans to make additional improvements based on your feedback, including scaling competitive season bans, a notification system that will alert you when a player you've reported is actioned, and functionality that will allow us more aggressively penalize players who attempt to abuse the in-game reporting tool. And I have to admit that I honestly don't see much of a problem in this. And while I know that my stance here is not going to be the most popular one, this sort of thing is becoming more and more common in online formats. Why? Well, because to put it bluntly, the Wild West is slowly being tamed. Now, for close to 20 years, the internet has grown by staggering amounts, and the world has struggled to catch up. Trolls have been allowed to say and do whatever they want for so long that it is now so commonplace that many just do their best to, quote, not feed the trolls, as it's come to be known. The social contract has been all but ignored in most internet arenas, and actions like these are an attempt to institute an expectation of behavior that is more fit for the real world, as the internet has integrated itself into the real world in every way. The expectation of being able to say or do whatever you want while you're online will continue to disappear, as this latest untamed wilderness is slowly tamed by the simple fact that so many people now spend the majority of their time on the internet and now expect behavior online that matches the way one would act in the real world when dealing with friends, family, or strangers. Again, I know that opinion and my opinions in this instance are not going to be universally accepted, and that's fine. As always, please do let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And as I did promise that I would use my announcer voice within this video, let it never be said that SidAlpha was a liar. So I will do my outro segment with my announcer voice, so here goes. And with a little video editing magic, I will overlay my standard clip with visual cues on the screen, as seeing and hearing is a beneficial modality. Alright, here goes. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video and you like what I do here, then please remember to like and share the video on Twitter, Facebook, or Reddit. If you would like to see my channel go full-time, consider donating on PayPal or Patreon, as each donation helps take us one step closer to that goal. As always, links to everything are in the description below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.